Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever fine podcasts can be found. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers, starting at $1, which gets you the show ad-free, both in video form and podcast audio form.
Yes.
We offer bonus episodes throughout the week. And at the $20 mark, you can send us a video question for Matt Chat, which is this show, and it's a lot of fun. I like we have I think at least one new Matt Chatter today.
Yes.
And I love our cast of characters. It's a fluid one. It's a continually rotating cast of characters. I think it's fantastic.
It is.
And of course, the big news coming into 2019 is All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a question about All Elite Wrestling from longtime friendo but new Matt Chatter, Rich Hardesty. Let's see what Rich has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson. This is Rich Hardesty with his very first Matt Chat question. 2018 was a fun year for the Friendoverse. I even got to meet Joshua Martinez at SmackDown a couple months ago. Shout out to you. But 2019 got off to a pretty big start with the announcement of All Elite Wrestling. With the amount of money backing them up, how quickly do you think that All Elite can catch up to WWE, and what is it going to take to get there? Thanks, friendos. Too sweet, hearty handshake, shoulder lean.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Well, I mean, All Elite Wrestling will probably never catch up to WWE.
It's a tall task.
Yeah.
It's a tall task.
WWE has about a 55-year head start.
Yes, correct.
They've been in business since like 63, I think.
The big thing that WWE...
And they're worth like billions of dollars.
Yeah, that's true. One of the biggest things that WWE has working for them right now
Money.
is money. And one of the ways they get that money, not just via the TV deals.
The perception that they're synonymous with pro wrestling itself.
That's the reason why. But also, if you take a look at the Saudi Arabia deal, okay? Big money. Yeah, sketchy, but big money. But what do the Saudis really love? They love like that WWE has access to basically bringing these old timers over and giving them dream matches just to entertain them. All Elite Wrestling, they don't have that. WWE right now, they have the biggest names, not just people who don't want to deal with WWE.
Yeah.
They have the biggest names.
Well,
they have the biggest library, the biggest history.
They have it's the idea that WWE and so far I guess history's proven them correct that they're the top tier of the wrestling game. You make it to WWE, you've made it in the business.
The legacy of WWE means they are going to be able to book more of these huge international deals, which will keep on perpetuating the idea that WWE is wrestling. It's the end-all, be-all.
Yes, and while All Elite Wrestling has said part of their mission statement is they're out to prove that there is an audience for, how they describe it, PG wrestling or something like that.
Yeah.
As we saw with All In, especially the Joey Ryan segment, that's stuff that would never happen on WWE television. Yet it was hilarious. It was great. So I think we've seen, even just lately, there is an audience for a more, I don't know, the word's not complex or mature, just a different take on wrestling than what the WWE product offers, which is appeal to the broadest possible audience, family friendly for the most part, and if the Young Bucks and Cody are content to, at least at first, appeal to a smaller demographic, and then grow from there, there's a chance that if they can stay in business for years and years and years and years, that they can start making some inroads. But it's going to take generations to even come close to what the WWE monolith is, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. 5 years from now, what is something that All Elite Wrestling should aspire to?
Number 2 company in the States. Past Ring of Honor.
I think out the gate they're going to be bigger than Ring of Honor.
Well, it's neck and neck.
I think,
at least.
Yeah.
And if they can start signing some people away from WWE, then they can get the advantage.
Yeah.
But I think in 5 years, if they're firmly established as the number 2 company in the States, I would hope that would be
in
considered
5
a win.
years. They should be able to So I don't believe there is a direct parallel. Although I guess you could say, could they be, something that they could aspire to? I said this a couple days ago on Wednesday. If you look at what TNA could have been, what they could have potentially been.
TNA had the potentially really good formula. You had a lot of really, really, really good young talent.
Yeah.
You bring in a couple well-known veterans.
Yeah.
That's the formula. And if they had just stuck to that, they probably would be in a lot better shape now. I mean, granted, they brought in like everybody from WCW, a lot of terrible business practices. They weren't paying people on time, all that kind of stuff.
And they fell into the trap of relying on the veterans that they brought in
instead of bringing veterans in to bring in an audience, have their eyes open to all this wonderful young talent. In the end, that's why they stick around.
Yeah, I think the Hogan thing was probably a huge mistake.
Oh, yes.
So, but I think one thing that you can take away from looking at early TNA, like when Styles was really hot, they were running some really good angles, is the crowd was really into it. Mm-hmm. Like they had some hot crowds. They had some really spectacular wrestling. And because of that, the crowds were really into it. So if you go down that route, if you really just learn from the mistakes of many companies in the past, WCW, TNA, even to a degree, Ring of Honor, I guess, I think out the gate, they'll be hot. They have all that money behind them. And in 5 years, they can be a place where a legitimate place where wrestlers can go and ply their trade and make good money. And hopefully that'll help the rest of the non-WWE wrestling landscape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's a possibility. But in terms of catching up to WWE, that'll probably never happen. I mean, it's just not. It's not realistic. I mean, it's even. In 1997, when WCW was making a really good run at WWF, did WCW ever actually make money back then?
Oh, I don't know.
Like around that time, like from
Probably
'97, when they were hot, I don't think they ever actually made money.
Probably not. They were paying too much for the wrestlers.
They were paying way too much. So, yeah, I mean, even then, like Vince was coming off of the steroid trial, which was like in '94, and things were like really bad for the company.
Yeah.
And then things blew up, and they haven't looked back.
Pretty
like
much.
TV deals are massive. These international deals are massive.
And well, here's the thing: if All Elite can get a TV deal, and on the early this week, Raja.com said that they were rumored to be in talks with maybe TNT or TBS. That would be massive.
Huge.
That would be massive. That would be pretty massive.
That
would give them a huge head start over anybody else.
Oh yeah,
trying to play second fiddle to be here in the States.
Immediately, that would put them in second place.
Yep.
Immediately.
Yep.
So I mean, that's a good place to be. You don't need, dude. Here's the thing: you don't need all the money. You just need a lot of it.
Yeah.
Next up, Devin the Dude has a question. He's curious about that Intercontinental strap. And
come Mania season.
Let's see what he has to say.
Hey friendos, it's Devin the Dude here, back with another Matt Chat question. Feeling better this week, so that's a plus side. I'm gonna stray to a different topic today. I would like to know what you guys think will be the Intercontinental title match for WrestleMania. Do you think Dean will figure into the plans? And if he does, how do you rebuild his character? I know how Larson is a very anti-Dean Ambrose fan. I kind of do like Dean Ambrose. He is my favorite male wrestler. But I would like to see him maybe go full Moxley. But what do you guys think? Do you think someone will factor into the Intercontinental plans? What is the Intercontinental match at WrestleMania? What do you guys think? Thank you so much, and stay strong, brothers.
Thank you, Devin the Dude.
Thank you, Devin the Dude.
So speculate before we get into this answer here. Why was his fountain running the entire time?
Was faucet?
Was he doing dishes?
Maybe he's trying to defrost some meat.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta run it in cool
That's
water.
what I do. Yeah, I do that.
If you just take it right out of the freezer, you want to do it quickly without putting it in the microwave and risk actually starting to cook your food.
Yeah.
You run under some cool or lukewarm water, especially like fish. If you're defrosting fish, it's delicate.
Yeah.
Run under cool water so it's defrosted. Anyways, answer is Finn Balor. Finn Balor needs to be in this Intercontinental title picture immediately.
Sure.
And he, assuming Dean Ambrose still has it, which is probably going to be the case heading into Mania season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn. Let Finn have an Intercontinental title match. Let him win the darn thing.
Yeah.
This whole heel Dean just isn't clicking. It's not working. It's nothing menacing, nothing dangerous about him. He still does this. He's still a little, hey, I'm Dean Ambrose.
Does he actually do this?
He did it in the doctor's office.
Oh, my
When he was getting shots, he did that. But then on his promo on Raw, he was doing a lot of.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to do this.
Yeah, you can tell. You could tell, but he had the belt over his shoulder, I believe. So he had one hand busy. So he could have done it with one hand. But he didn't. But yeah, on the doctor's, when he's getting the shots, he was doing this.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a heel, that's supposed to be dangerous and menacing and mean. You're not doing this. But he's doing this. So his heel turn isn't working. Let it run its course to Mania. Have Finn get that Intercontinental title. He's awesome. He deserves a belt.
He's awesome.
And then over the summer, have Finn and Drew McIntyre feud. I think that'd be really good.
Sure, that'd be good.
I think that'd be great.
Here's where I'm going with this, man. I say, Dean, this is Steve booking. This isn't probably what I think is going to happen. I could see your scenario playing out. That'd be whatever. I could see that happening. What I'd like to see happen is this. Between now and the Rumble, Apollo Crews wins that title from Dean Ambrose. He kicks out of a Dirty Deeds. The first man to kick out of a Dirty Deeds in God knows how long.
Oh, wow.
And then as Dean Ambrose is trying to hit a second one, Apollo Crews is able to reverse it into, what's his finisher?
It's the sit-down powerbomb
Sit down. Okay, there you go. He's got the sit-down powerbomb thing. He wins Intercontinental Championship. And because WWE, they're trying to do this thing where everybody's more aggressive now, they give Finn Balor that aggression. But, hey, screw it. He goes full-on like heel Finn. Yeah, he's Prince Balor now, right?
Real rock and roller.
Real rock and roller. So him and Apollo, they get into it, and they fight over that Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Finn wins it, but Apollo wins it back like a month later.
Is this a stipulation you want?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention this. Thank you for pointing that out. The match at Mania will be a fresh choice ladder match. So they had a fresh start, and now it's fresh choice ladder match.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if fresh choices actually exist anymore. That sounds really good.
Well, why don't we look at Zach S.'s question, and while we're watching that, we'll find out.
But then we have to pay attention to his question, too.
Oh, we've already, hey, we'll break kayfabe. We'll break kayfabe.
They don't know that.
Did that.
Anyways, take it away, Zach.
What's going to see amongst many friendos out there? It is your Matt Chat Hall of Famer, Zach S. Coming at you with another Matt Chat question. Question this week is Steve Motion for the year of 2018. What would you say is the more forgotten match? Would you say it's a four-way for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom, or Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa 2?
Thank you, Zach S.
Thank you, Zach S. I have an update here as far as fresh choice.
Please.
Apparently they all closed in 2012. However,
oh man,
there was a couple. There's at least 7 restaurants in the Bay Area here in California. They redubbed them California Fresh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So let's see. While you make the argument for your match, I'm going to look into California Fresh.
Most underrated match of the year. Everybody remembers that Gargano Ciampa match pretty fondly. So I would say the Wrestle Kingdom 12, the Juniors Fatal 4-Way. That's what he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of, I'm not going to say it's an obscure match. It was a hell of a match. Who won that match? Do you remember?
Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah. Skrull came in as champion. It was the first time that Ospreay beat Skrull in a match, I think.
Oh, okay. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. I don't know if California Fresh is even a thing
I don't remember who won that match. I remember who won Gargano Ciampa.
Who?
Ciampa.
Yeah. No, Will Ospreay won. That's where he did the moonsault off the lighting truss.
That's so cool.
And then because Kenny and Jericho were pulling and doing the same spot, and they saw it and they had to change it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But that was a really good match.
Will Ospreay won.
Yeah,
it's a heck of a match. Really good match. Here's the thing. I wonder if one reason why that match is not. I mean, number one, New Japan. Oh my goodness, how many great matches can you have? You know,
I know they do dozens of them every year.
Were any of the matches from the G1 included in our top best match? Yeah, exactly. Dude, there's just so much good wrestling. They kind of cancel each other out. Think about the WWE. You get a bunch of these 3-star matches throughout the year.
You get something really good and it sticks out.
Stands out, exactly.
Yep.
Because when I think of those juniors, I think of Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll.
Sakura Genesis when Ospreay landed on his neck. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that was a stellar match.
That was really good.
That was like super stellar. So that's the match that this match reminds me of, and that's the match I think of.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, make the case for Gargano champ.
I kind of think a bit now, especially as the stories progress, their second match kind of got somewhat lost in the shuffle, even though that was the one where Gargano kind of really started his turn.
Yeah, sure.
Because he had a moment where he could have won the match.
He went for the knee.
Yeah, he went. He kind of went to finish Ciampa off, and that overly aggressive attitude ended up costing him the match.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one, of course, which finished with Ciampa handcuffed, hitting a draping DDT on Gargano on the exposed wood in the ring.
Yeah.
Great finish.
Yeah.
And it's really the match that kind of catapulted Ciampa into his current winning streak, now NXT champion. They had a third match at the following TakeOver after Aleister Black got hurt. And that one was okay. Didn't really, I don't think it was nearly as good as the first two matches. But as the stories progressed, I think people remember the first match a lot because it was awesome. And this one maybe has gotten somewhat forgotten about, still kind of existing in the shadow of their first really awesome match.
One thing about this match also is that because of that finish, Triple H was sort of being kind of coy about the finish. He said something like Gargano really hurt himself. He was trying to like...
No, that was the finish of the third match, wasn't it?
I thought it was when...
When he talked about dislocated his knee?
Wasn't this the one where Gargano dislocated his knee?
No, that was the third one.
Which is the one where
he did the thing, the move off the stage.
He had him handcuffed, and he did.
That was the second one.
That's this one. That's the one that Triple H was talking about. Gargano having like actually busted up, so they had to like do things a little bit different at the end. And it was like, wait, what? Really?
I thought that was the next one.
Nah, man.
I thought it was Brooklyn. Yeah. It was this one. Running knee smash on Ciampa, but fell from the stage on some cases and production equipment.
Oh, that was the third one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the second one. Okay, well, man, I did forget that second one then. How did that second one end?
It was the draping DDT on the wood in the ring. Where Ciampa
was there a
handcuffed.
Stipulation on that second one?
It was a Chicago street fight.
What was the first one? Just straight up match?
It was an unsanctioned match.
Oh, unsanctioned.
And this one's the last man standing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They all run together, man. Oh, last man standing. Okay, yeah. That's the one that they're... Okay. I like that one. I like that last man standing match.
It was good.
Yeah, that was cool.
I didn't think it was as good as the first two, but it was good.
The first one was the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
They're all good matches.
They're all good. There's just too many good matches.
There's a lot of good matches.
There's too many good matches.
Good
These guys need to start putting on some stinkers.
Yeah, I know.
Put on a real turd of a match.
I know. So then the good stuff really
rises
stands
to the
out.
top,
Exactly.
right? Exactly.
Just go out there and do 25 minutes of rest holds.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so you lower expectations a little
They'll
bit.
be like, wow, what a garbage match that was.
Wow, some great catch can wrestling here.
Next up, we've got the wonderful Cactus Jackie. Let's see what she has to say.
Hey, Stephen Larson. Here's a topical question. Now that you have all this Audible books money, who would you like to see write an autobiography that hasn't written one yet? Thanks, friendos. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Cactus Jackie.
Thank you, Cactus Jackie.
Oh, the answer's Triple H. Give me Triple H. I know he's done that bodybuilding book.
Yeah, man.
Which I need to get my hands on.
Yeah.
So I can get jacked
Yeah.
H-face like Triple H.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you got the stories of him with the Click.
Yeah.
That's the book right there.
Yeah.
Because he was always, he wasn't the partier of the group.
Man.
He was the driver.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was there witnessing a lot of crazy
Shenanigans.
stuff. And probably a lot of it he won't want to relate in a book. Nonetheless, the little bits he talks about would probably be fantastic. Mm-hmm. 2, talk about all the politicking backstage during the Attitude Era. That'd probably be really fascinating. And 3, of course, in his current capacity as a WWE executive, running NXT, being the head creative dude of 205 Live. That's all really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
That's another good name.
Well, okay, so it's funny because I think that this is the guy here. If you want a true autobiography of the Click,
Oh, it'd probably be X-Pac, yeah.
you want to get X-Pac to write an autobiography. Or Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, like, he doesn't want, nobody wants to, like, tarnish Triple H's reputation.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does, including X-Pac.
Yeah.
But X-Pac might be a little looser with it,
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, depending, it's all coming from his point of view. Who knows what he remembers, what he doesn't remember. The correct answer, of course, is Vince McMahon. I want Vince McMahon to write a book about himself because I think it would be hilarious to see what his own take on himself, on his life
It'd be
is.
such a very specific prism that it could be like the early rumors you heard about that script about the biopic they're making about Vince, where it's a completely skewed version of actual history.
All kayfabe.
Yeah.
And he'd be saying things like, no, the rest of the territories really wanted me to go national, and so they just laid down for me.
They were throwing money at me.
They're throwing money at me.
Take things national.
You're the man, Vince. You're the man. You go national. Vern Gagne said, here, I'm going to gift you Hulk Hogan's contract.
Here's Mean Gene. Here, take my whole promotion.
It's got to be Vince.
Jim Crockett gave me an envelope full of money. Inside was the deed to Jim Crockett Productions. Like, would there really be a deed? Isn't that for a piece of property, Vince?
He gave me the property of Jim Crockett himself. I own Jim Crockett.
No, this is 70s, late 70s, early 80s Vince. I own Jim Crockett Productions.
I own Jim Crockett. So yeah, that's what happened. Anyways, moving on.
Well, I feel like Triple H's might skew more towards reality.
Yeah, you're probably right. But that's it for that exact same reason. That's why I would love Vince's autobiography, because it wouldn't.
No,
it'd be so out of whack.
Yeah, probably. Next, got a question from the Enforcer, Stevie Bradley. Let's see what the Enforcer has to say.
Got a quick question for you. Who do you think is most likely to have a GenderMahal type of championship reign in 2019? Just comes out of nowhere and all of a sudden he's either got the Universal or the World Heavyweight title. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, Enforcer.
Anyways, I'll go first.
All right.
Who could have a gender-like title run? So you have a guy who's coming back from injury at some point. I'm going to get a guy who's coming back from injury at some point. And his name is Fandango. Listen, there might not be a guy in the modern era of wrestling who I think really has a ton of potential that is simply untapped. Fandango has been a dude, like, I'm not sure they'd be able to rebrand him because he's so locked into Fandango.
Yeah, no.
But he's been gone for a while thanks to injury. If there's any time to bring him back as Johnny Curtis, he's got the look. Mm-hmm. He's got just tons of natural charisma. Mm-hmm. This dude could be unleashed as a major force in pro wrestling. Give him some swagger, not the clueless thing, not the handsome idiot thing. Mm-mm. Give him some swagger. Give him some good creative, some good lines, some good comedy.
Yeah, he's really funny.
But keep the intensity.
Yeah.
And dude, you could print money off this guy.
He's larger than you think.
Yes.
When we got a chance to meet him, he's pretty tall.
Because at first I was going to go with Tyler Breeze because they've been doing this, like they did the Tyler Breeze thing with Dean Ambrose. They had Tyler Breeze show up at NXT.
Yeah.
And I want to say that maybe they're like trying to show off a bit more of his actual wrestling side.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he got tossed out of the ring by Apollo Crews, or I forget how that went down.
Crews,
yeah, okay. And so I'm like, wait a second, his partner Fandango, he's injured right now. And dude, that guy, talk about a guy who could show up in All Elite Wrestling. You know, and don't do the whole "I'm bitter at the WWE" thing.
No, look at this as a new opportunity and go and prove yourself.
Just go see this guy. Just go take a look at what he's doing. You know, I mean, I don't know if he's like, you know, if he could put on like a 5-star match or whatever. But I kind of feel like most wrestlers probably could have just given the right, you know, amount of, you know,
preparation time.
Such, yes. I think a lot of those guys can just, you know, hammer out a really great match. I'm telling you, man, Fandango, Johnny Curtis. Now, I think yours is probably more likely. I don't think they're going to have Fandango come back and put the WWE title on him. It's much more likely in your case. So why don't you go ahead and say who
Sami Zayn. I don't think he ever was quite the gender level near enhancement talent because Sami's been involved in some pretty major storylines. He's got some pretty good wins under his belt, but he's never really dabbled in the title scene significantly.
No, he hasn't.
Especially any sort of world title scene.
No, God, no.
And he's probably lost more matches than he's won during his time in WWE. But he's got all the ingredients, man. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal in-ring performer, great on the mic, tons of personality. Just got to give him the telestrator gimmick that I've been pitching for a while.
That's not going to get him over the top.
As a heel, it might. If he's in there picking apart people's matches.
Yeah.
Or at least make it a YouTube series. That'd be a good way to get him some heat.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Good way to give him some heat.
That's a good way to get him
but
some
also
heat.
Endear him to like, you know.
Nerds?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that'd be really good.
Yeah.
But in the ring, he's awesome. Let him do this. Start doing the top rope brain busters, all that stuff he used to do in PWG and Ring of Honor.
Oh.
Super over.
Top rope brain busters. Oh, yeah, let him start doing that.
Well, he did it for years in PWG. Ring of
I
Honor.
know, man. It looks terrifying.
Oh, I know.
Because here's the thing, he does that a couple times a month maybe on like the indie circuit, but you do that 300 times a year.
No, you just save it for pay-per-view matches.
Oh, okay, I got you.
No, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn could totally be a WWE champion.
Yeah, maybe.
Totally.
He could be.
Totally.
Give me Johnny Curtis, man.
No, I'm a huge fan of Fandango, Johnny Curtis.
Give me Andy Nero because he has a question.
And a sweet shirt, too.
Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
Hey friendos, it's the heel that makes good points, Andy Nero, with a match chat question, and tonight you join me at work, up an 80-foot crane, so happy days. Today I'd like to ask, which was the better WrestleMania build package? Was it CM Punk versus Undertaker, which is one of my favourites, or another one of my favourites, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania 26? Both you can find on YouTube, and both are brilliant. I just want to know which one's better. Cheers. Anyway, take care. All the best. Happy New Year. And yeah, too sweet. Hearty handshake. Bye.
Thank you, Andy Nero.
Thank you, Andy Nero.
I appreciate the shirt. Thank you for wearing it. Coldwater Larson. You can get it right now at ProWrestlingTees.com.
We got to take that shirt down and conglomerate Coldwater Larson with the face. That's what we need to do.
Let me do my thing, man.
No, man. I'll do it. It's okay.
No, it's not your shirt. It's my shirt.
I know the guy at Pro Wrestling Tees. So neither of these are the right answer.
Oh, I don't know. We'll carry on anyway.
Oh, no. You go first here.
Oh, I do? No, I mean, of those two options he gave, Punk Undertaker going to WrestleMania 29, was it?
29.
Yeah, or HBK Taker going to WrestleMania 26. It's definitely HBK Taker.
Yeah.
Gravitas, drama.
Yeah, there's
real drama.
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew that Punk was checked out by the time he did
then
Undertaker.
the whole nature of the storyline was kind of tacky.
It's like, should I be into this?
Because
like
Paul Bearer just passed away.
Dude actually died, like at the kickoff of this storyline.
And then they incorporated the storyline. It felt kind of tacky.
It felt lazy.
Yeah.
It just felt lazy. Like everybody was just spinning their wheels.
I mean, like the video package was well put together.
Yeah.
But no, give me Undertaker, streak on the line, HBK, his career on the line. That video package really well done. And I don't know about the flute music that sounds like the Titanic theme in the beginning. I don't know about that, but the rest of it's
that's
great.
the best part about it.
It really tugs at the heartstrings.
It really does. You know what tugs at the heartstrings?
Not Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
No.
Dude, tell me that's not the best video package ever put together for the WWE. That is the best one. I'm sorry. Look, here's the thing.
The best one.
I'm never sitting in my car playing
together.
Limp Bizkit. I'm not doing that, okay? But
good.
Nu metal goes so seamlessly. Was Limp Bizkit considered nu metal or rap rock? I think it was rap rock.
Both.
The same thing? I don't know. Anyways, that genre of music is maybe the closest. Like, that stuff was made for WWE.
Yeah.
It really was.
No, I agree.
And between that and their entire catalog is all just made for WWE. Rollin', all those songs. Break stuff. Oh, my goodness. But Austin Rock, WrestleMania 17, Limp Bizkit, My Way or the Highway. Oh, my goodness. That will get you into it. That gets you jazzed up. And they did that wonk finish where Austin aligned with
Turned
McMahon.
heel, yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was awful.
I mean, it kind of torpedoed the whole business.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyways, no, that was a good video package. But I'll take HBK Taker WrestleMania 26.
Video package.
Because, man, that gets you right here.
Your lungs?
Heart.
Next up, we got a question from a Christopher Rappersod. Let's see what he says.
Hello, Steven Larson. So my question is, what is the best Vince McMahon match? To me, I think I'll go to Ric Flair, or I'll go against maybe Shawn Michaels. And if Vince McMahon was still like in his prime, who would you like to see him face nowadays? Like a Kevin Owens, maybe an AJ Styles.
Thank you, Christopher.
You
get to go first.
Nice. Oh, man. So the best Vince match ever was Vince versus Hulk Hogan. Because,
man, that was so bloody.
Number one, it's Vince and Hogan. Like, that story is just built in right there, right? Number two, it is a bloodbath.
Yeah, it is.
It is it's like a freaking what do they call that? Torture porn. Is that what the Hostel movie? Is that what they call that?
Yeah, I think so.
It is horrifying.
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
a lot
an
of
old
blood.
Italian cannibal flick.
That's a lot of blood, man.
So much blood in that movie. It's disturbing. That was back when they did that. Like Vince was like, "Yeah, dude, it's all about the blood."
Yeah.
Him and JBL were walking blood baths.
Yeah, they were just. You look at them, they start bleeding.
They just start bleeding, man. So yeah, it's Hogan versus Vince. Who would I like to see Vince face these days? I mean, like nobody. Because he's so old.
Yeah, he is.
But if it was prime Vince, it was Vince in like in his 50s or whatever, I'd probably want to go with. He's always had a really good rapport with Kevin Owens. I would say it's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens comes off also kind of like a Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
Like he could be a really good star in the Ruthless Aggression.
Yeah.
He'd be like RVD just walking into freaking WWE and just instantly over.
Yeah.
Like most over guy. And so, yeah, give me like a Kevin Owens, Vince McMahon bloodbath match. There you go.
His best match was his match against Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 22, I believe. Yes, WrestleMania 22. It's Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels can bring pretty much anybody to a good match. Mm-hmm. This is a no-holds-barred match. That spot where HBK puts the garbage can over Mr. McMahon, drops the elbow off the ladder. Great stuff.
Yeah.
As far as who I'd like to see him face, give me Mr. McMahon versus Triple H for control of WWE.
Yeah, man.
Give me that match. I know they had matches in the past. I know this happened. But this is a new era here.
Yeah.
Give us current-day Triple H, who's ready to take over WWE, versus Vince in his prime.
Yeah.
Like, 1998.
Some sort of time
Vince.
warp type thing.
Yes. Let's fold space and time.
Yeah. It's my way or the highway, Vince.
There you go.
No, it's not.
No, it's 98 Vince.
I found a time machine.
Not current day Vince.
Look at me now.
There you go.
I'm $1 million.
There we go. Next from Patrick Sparks. Let's see what the B-Man has to say.
B-Man.
Hey, friendos, Pat here. Alright, so recently I was showing a friend of mine who didn't get to watch wrestling as a kid some Attitude Era stuff, and kept on seeing some interviews with Michael Cole. And it made me think, Michael Cole's been in the company a very long time, obviously, like I just said, started off as an interviewer, and now he is considered the voice of the WWE. My question for you, or debate, is where does he land in the power rankings of commentators of all time? What is his legacy going to leave behind when he's done? Because you could say you don't like him. You could say he's good. He's a great play-by-play. He's got obsession with boss time. Had terrible matches. But what's his legacy going to leave behind? And will he be inducted into the Hall of Fame before or after he stops commentating? Thanks, friendos. Bye.
Thank you, B-Man.
Thank you, Patrick Sparks.
I got to go first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Cole. He's very good. As you mentioned here, he's done a lot of good work backstage. He kind of writes the handbook now, I believe, for commentators as far as how to approach doing their work for WWE. So I would definitely put in the top 10. However,
I wonder if the handbook for WWE commentators is anything like the WWE rule book.
Oh, just Michael Cole's doodle pad.
Yeah.
Sketchbook.
Yeah.
But I would maybe put him higher up in the top 10 if he were allowed to work like he did, specifically on the first UK tournament.
Yeah.
When it was him and Nigel McGuinness. They were great. I mean, Michael Cole and Corey Graves, and especially Booker T, get them on commentary joking around is wildly entertaining. But the work he and Nigel were doing that first UK tournament was so good. Yeah. Calling the action, enhancing the drama of the matches. He's totally capable of that. He did that the Mae Young Classic too. Mm-hmm. He's totally capable of doing that. They just don't really have him do that on Raw hardly at all. Yeah. And I think if they did, he would probably be held in much higher regard.
Oh yeah, for sure. So like I'd probably just as it is because of longevity and stability, I guess, or whatever. I'd put him in like top 10 commentators like all time, probably by the end of the day. Not the top 5, but like somewhere between 6 and 10. But yeah, you said at the jump, he probably deserves a lot of acclaim for what we understand he does behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. His supporting cast. I mean, if he's making decisions or if he's a force in terms of the rest of how commentary is handled, who they're getting, dude, you can't get a better lineup than what they have right now. Mm-hmm. Corey Graves is great. Yeah. They're still figuring this stuff out with Renee Young, but I have confidence that within a year or so, they're going to be a really good trio. What's his face over on SmackDown with Corey? Tom Phillips. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I really like Vic Joseph. You already called the NXT team. They're fantastic. Nigel McGuinness and Morrow, and even Percy's really coming into his own.
Yeah.
So if Michael Cole has a lot to do with that, which I suspect he probably does, then he's on solid ground.
And then we hear he's pretty involved in NXT too, from a creative standpoint.
Like once, but I've never seen anything to back that up. But if that's true, then wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I do get the feeling that he's got a lot of sort of. I think he's got a good mind for what he does, and I think he's a really valuable asset.
Definitely
to how we see the product.
Yes.
So yeah, he's up there.
Yeah,
he's the thumbs up.
Final question of the day comes from Stephen M. Let's see what Stephen has to say.
This is Auto Friends, as I'm Irish linguistic expert Stephen M. here with another match chat question. Who are your 2019 Hall of Fames, and who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame the most out of people who haven't been in there? Too Sweet, Ready Handshake, Steve Shoulder Lean.
Thank you, Stephen M.
Thank you, Stephen M.
All right, man. Oh yeah, we still have to do our Friendo Awards at some point.
Yeah, I know. Next week. It's kind of a crazy week here.
Yeah, it's been we only had like 3 days this week.
Actually, only really 2.
And then plus Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, so really only 2 anyways.
All right, 2019 Hall of Famers. Who's going to get in? Who's going to be the headliner this year? I'll put this Hall of Fame class down like a dog. Come on. It's just got to be Undertaker at this point. It's got to be Undertaker at this point. It's Undertaker.
No, it's not. He's still an active competitor.
Confirmed. We should be hearing about like the leaks soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Brad Shepard going to have the leaks again?
Maybe. Who do you think is not in that deserves to be in the most?
The master of the torture rack of doom, former WCW champion, probably former NWA United States champion, and WCW United States champion.
Never won anything in WWE, though.
Probably a tag champion. Yeah, he did. He won the body slam competition.
Is there a belt associated with that?
He won it.
No belt, though.
He body slammed Yokozuna. He beat Yokozuna, the champion at SummerSlam. So, yes, he did win things.
No, but not any belts, not any championships.
Well, he did.
No, he didn't win any championships.
In a way,
he never won a belt in WWE or WWF.
Man, tell me you weren't surprised when you reminisced when you went back and saw that video that was floating around the internet of Luger beating Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Of kicking out of a leg drop. Why was that crowd going crazy? Was that more of an anti-Hogan thing than a pro-Luger thing?
I think so. They were throwing a lot of trash in the ring, too.
He's the only man to have ever escaped Bruiser Brody in the steel cage when Bruiser Brody...
That was a shoot, though.
Legitimately wanted to hurt him.
Yeah. No, Batista. I think he's got to be the front runner to get inducted this year. Yeah. I know he's wanted a feud with Triple H at Mania. He wants to return, and probably because of his torn pec, Triple H probably won't be involved at WrestleMania this year unless he can like rehab like crazy. However, if you induct Batista as your headliner to the Hall of Fame this year, he can throw some shade at Triple H's induction speech and maybe get a match the following year, as we see with Kurt Angle. Getting in the Hall of Fame doesn't preclude you from wrestling in the future.
Right.
So I'm going with Batista.
Yeah.
As far as who deserves to be in the most, it's China.
Oh, yeah.
China should have been in years ago.
But remember, according to Triple H,
that was also years ago. Can't remember who. Someone posted on Twitter that they did a Google search, and it takes 12 pages of photo results before you see any of China in any sort of adult movie.
Yeah. But if you just put in the word pornography next to China,
I know it makes it immediate.
It'll pop up like immediately.
But if you just put China WWE into Google, it's not.
I mean, similarly, I imagine if you put anybody's name and then pornography next to it, porn is going to show up #1. I'm not going to do it here. I should look up Steve here.
Oh, please don't.
Hold on, I'm going to look up.
Please don't.
Steve here, pornography.
Oh, gosh. Please don't. Make sure your volume's off. I don't want to hear any stuff.
I don't really want to do it.
No, don't do it. That's
scary to me.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Steven and Ryle Croshaw speak about pornography addiction. This is all like anti. Man.
All right. Well, let's go way to end the show, I guess.
I'm going to go to images. Oh, man. It's a bunch of mugshots.
Can't
be doing
All right.
that,
let's just wrap it up. All right. That's it for Matt Chat. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.